Hey guys, so today what I want to do is talk about investments. And one of the reasons why I want to talk about this is because there's a growing number of people that are at home, right? And they're online and they want to know, hey, how can I make some money? So, you know, I've always been like these days, anyways, on the Facebook Robinhood, Wall Street Bet, whatever you want to call it, the groups, right, on Facebook, and there was a question saying, or I guess there was somebody that was completely new saying that, hey, it, they're willing to learn, they want to learn, and I wrote like freaking, I don't know how many paragraphs. I wrote like basically 10 paragraphs answering all of his questions, right? And he basically kept asking, and you know that he's a younger person when he has like video game characters as his display picture, as well as the whatever you call that, the wallpaper in the background. So anyways, I wanted to make a video and just kind of cover that for those that are new to investing or trading, whatever you want to call it. I am not a professional trader, nor am I a professional investor. I mean, half the time, my gut feeling says it all, right? And the thing is, with gut feeling, there's a different type of gut feeling. I mean, there's a gut feeling like people I know that are completely clueless. I mean, that's their, but they're very confident about. Everybody is confident about their gut feeling, right? But the only difference between the gut feeling is how educated you are. So, I'm gonna kind of leave some things that if you want to learn to make some money online through stocks, investing, or some other things, I'm just going to cover the basics in this video. So, I actually have been watching the market for over 5 years. I didn't even buy anything. I mean, I've been watching and learning, right? So it was only until the pandemic started where I actually really started looking at it. I mean, before that, I've been listening to economics videos, which is very important. Also, I've been watching a lot of the other videos, right? Basically about the economy and stuff like that. So, anyways, those things as well as some of the global macroeconomic kind of thing, right? So, anyways, those are some of the things you should learn before you start investing. I mean, if you're just like gonna buy on the hype, then obviously you don't really need to learn any of that because you could, I guess, potentially you could make a lot of money and then you could lose a lot of money, right? I mean, because what you're buying doesn't mean that it has to have value. I mean, it could just go up and then it could just go down. That's what happened to a lot of people. I mean, you just have to sell before it goes down, right? I mean, that's the entire point. But if you have an economics background, right, or at least you study or listen to videos and understand what's happening, at least you know that, hey, uh, this thing you're buying, let's say you bought it at $1, at least you know it's going to go to like $10 or $5. You don't even need to like look at the chart or even whatever, $2, which would be 100%. So, some of the things I want to talk about is when I say global economic kind of thing, it's not that difficult. If you think it's totally difficult, it's boring or something. I mean, it's actually not that difficult. I mean, if you look at it, oil cars, outdated, right? Electric cars, more portable, better, I guess, right? I mean, it's kind of like an oil snowblower and a electric snowblower, or what do you call those? What do you call those? The drills, yes. So, there's a drill, right? I mean, their drill used to be wired. You need to stick into the socket and then drill things, right? You actually need a long wire. Now they have the battery packs. So you just have to pretty much see like what is the better alternative. And basically, as time goes on, we will move towards that better alternative, right? I mean, obviously, having a wire, well, I guess not called wireless, but well, kind of, I don't know. I mean, the portable battery is better than having to wire yourself to a wall, right? So that's basically what I mean by global economics. I mean, because however the globe or everybody in the world is going towards that way, it's most likely going to go towards that way. I mean, if you're going to fight it, then obviously it's like the newspaper and the internet. I mean, for a certain amount of time, people fought the internet. They're like, no, we got newspaper. They have all the information. Now that what do you call it? I'm thinking about it. I think those newspaper, those people, the people like the journalists and all those writers, they're like always trying to mind control you. Can you imagine those newspaper? I mean, that's where you got your information from, right? I mean, you no wonder my uncle is so outdated now. I mean, people I know that are older, they keep the news website is where they get their information, and it's really pathetic because now I'm going off on a tangent because I do want to leave this one. The first thing I said to that guy on Facebook is don't listen to old people because old people get their news from the mainstream media, right? I mean, for me personally speaking, in my opinion, and this is what I do. If it gets into the news, it is freaking time to sell that item, not buy it. I mean, if you're buying the item when it's in the news, you're an idiot. That's all I got to say because you want to buy it when nobody knows about it, and you want to sell it when everybody knows about it, right? Um, the same thing with Bitcoin. I mean, nobody was talking about it in 2012, 2013. Only the people that were into gold and silver, right? And then once it gets into news in 2017, that's when you wanted to sell because, or 2016, that's when you wanted to sell because after that it dropped like to 5,000 or 3,000, right? So now that is up again. Obviously, everybody's so just like is crazy about it. But even from here, let's just say, 50,000 to 100,000. That's only 100%. I mean, I bought a stock that went up 300% in a day, right? I mean, if you look at the percentage wise, it's very different depending on when you buy it. If you buy it now, it's a horrible idea. So, anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. But, anyways, yeah, I mean, what I wrote to that guy on Facebook was that don't listen to old people. They're outdated. They're completely outdated. That's one of the biggest problem. And the second thing is that if he really wanted to learn how to make like some money through trading stocks or investing in stocks, so the difference between investment and trading, from what I know, anyways, people that trade it daily, right? I mean, you buy it today, you sell it tomorrow. It's not, or actually, you buy it today, you sell it, or you buy it in the morning, you sell it at night, or in the afternoon, something like that. So I rarely do that, if any. I don't think I actually do that at all. I'm more into the investment in the long term of it. But it's not like I don't sell. I mean, if I bought like a stock that was 30 cents, let's say, or let's just say the 26 cents. Yes. So I bought one of the stock for 26 cents. And I had it for about a week, right? And then all of a sudden it just went up 300%. And then I'm like, you know, even though it's a long-term investment, I gotta sell the stock or sell portions of it. I didn't sell it all. I mean, I sold a portion of it to just to get back my initial investment, right? Because you don't want to be, hey, it goes up to 300% and then it goes down 300%, and then you're like, oh, well, I should have sold it when it was up at 300%. No, duh. So, anyways, whenever it goes up with major moves, you could probably, it's good time to take some profits and get back your initial investment, right? So that's what I did, and that's what I think people should do too. You don't want to be too greedy. I mean, I have some friends like, oh, it went up 300%. It's going to go up to 600%. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you don't want to be like that. I think that was one of the mistakes I made too. And also, what I told the guy on Facebook is the first stock you buy or the first round of stocks for like a year or whatever you buy is going to go down. And if you don't know the economics between why you bought that stock, then you're going to lose money because sometimes stocks can be dragged out, right? I mean, let's say you invested in this company today. It might go down tomorrow, next month, 6 months from now, but a year from now, it's going to go up 500%. Let's just say that, right? I mean, and the reason why it would go up 500% is because, hey, oh yeah, this thing is important. And all of a sudden, you're like, you get it. You know, you were able to predict the future. So you have to know the economics between why you bought that stock in that industry. And if you don't know that, then you shouldn't be trying to gamble with your money, because if you're gambling with your money, you will lose it for sure. Because I know people that lost so much money and they never gained it back. So there's a difference. You will always lose money when you're just starting out. But the whole difference is if you will lose the money and lose it forever, or you lose it and you get it back somewhere else, right? That's just how it works. I mean, I lost money. If somebody's telling you they never lost any money, they are a liar. They're a complete liar. and they don't know what they're talking about. So I lost money, right? Let's give it the example. I lost 10,000. Well, I gained back 50,000. Let's say that, right? So it just covers. So that, you have to know why you're buying. If you don't know why you're buying it, it is, it, you will lose money. I mean, some stocks I've held for 5 years. They've just, I don't know, they've just been sitting there. I mean, I don't know. I didn't sell it. It's just there. So, you know, you gotta just really figure this out and do your studies, right? You want to be looking at economic video. That is very important. You gotta understand economics. You gotta look up the company, the industry, the sector, if you like it or not. When I started looking at investments, the first thing I did was look at video games, and I realized it was actually a horrible sector looking because there's like who was there back then? I mean, GameStop was there, but GameStop wasn't that much. You have like Zanga. I don't even know what happened to Zanga. And what was that? I don't even remember all the companies. Blizzard, yes, Blizzard was there. But I like video games, but I so soon realized that that industry is like it goes nowhere. It doesn't make you anything. So, I slowly kind of just started reading and checking out other things. So you got to be nimble and you got to be open minded. You can't be always closed minded, to sort of speak. And I do want to say that very important thing. This wasn't posted by me, but somebody else posted it. If you see people spamming shit on what to buy on Facebook group, Twitter, and things like that, that's probably not what you want to do unless they're doing it for a cause, right? Like, during the Wall Street bet thing, it was for to take down the hedge fund. I mean, they did it for a cause. I mean, you could lose money, right? But if you wanted to make money, you never want to look at what people are spamming, because most of them that are spamming are scammers. That is just how it is, unfortunately. And yeah, I mean, most people, and they're really smart too. Sometimes when they spam it, they don't actually tell you the symbol or something. They basically say, "What do you think about this stock, this company, or whatnot?" Right? I mean, why would they ask that? The only reason is to get that out there, right? I mean, um, it, yeah, you got to be careful and open-minded, I guess, kind of not get scammed. And there are some new stuff. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if it's like $50 or $10, I usually try to buy anything that is really cheap, because when I sell it, well, I mean, if it goes up a bit, I'm fine, right? I mean, if you buy it at $50, what are the chances of going it to 100? Because going from 50 to 100 is harder than 1 cent going to 2 cent. If 1 cent goes to 2 cent, you got 100%, right? So, and then 50 to 100 is 100%. But it's much easier to go from 1 cent to 2 cent. So, anyways, I mean, I just wanted to make this video to kind of talk a bit about it. I probably will make a part two, because this is all coming off my top of my mind. I don't even have this planned. I mean, I was just like on Facebook and somebody asked me, and then I started writing all these things. Oh, right. There's like, you got to figure out, there's like a commodity sector and a stock sector, right? Stock is a business. Commodity is like gold, silver, oil, and those type of things. Rhodium, platinum, palladium, those things, right? Those are all used in certain things. And if you want to play in that market, you got to see what is going to be in the future, right? And what will be required in the future. It's like, think about this. Right now, oil, right? They're trying to reduce oil cars, right? Which means oil, the companies in oil might not be needed in the future, right? Who knows, right? Because it might be replaced by electric companies. So, anyways, you got to figure this out, and you will know all of this by studying economics. If you don't study economics, and if you just follow people on Facebook, I think you will lose money. That is not something you want to do. I think that's a horrible advice. If anybody tells you, "Hey, all you got to do is go on Facebook and just whoever like you know how they have those polls, right? That says, "Hey, what stock are you buying?" or like, what do you think is going to go up, right? And then you have like 100 votes in the stock, and you're like sitting there, wow, I better get the stock. No, I mean, those 100 votes, it's only 100 because you got so many people that are already in there. I mean, if everybody is in there, who the hell is going to buy it, right? You know what I mean? And most of the times, it is the dumb people that is in there. So, anyways, you gotta be very careful. That's what I've been telling people on or at least that person on Facebook, because and now I'm telling everybody else because I don't want people to get scammed. And obviously, everybody knows what happened with GameStop. I mean, by the time it got into the news, it was already at 300 or 200 something, right? I mean, at 200 something and it blasted up to 400 something, and now it's down at 50. I mean, unless you got in at $10, right? You're gonna buy it at 200, and then went up to 400. Maybe you didn't sell. You're thinking it's gonna go to 1,000, and then now it's at $50. So you lost $200 if you bought it at 250, right? So, anyways, anytime it gets into news, I think it's a horrible idea, and that is my signal to leave to say, hey, or at least take some money off the table, because, and I don't even know how to trade. I mean, I'm learning, but I'm usually an investor, right? I mean, I invest things. Investing. I mean, yeah, I invest in things I believe in and that I feel is going to be important in the future. If it's not important, I'm not gonna buy it. And I'm not. I almost forgot this example. This is the funny one. I talked about how if you're gonna invest in a typewriter company, why the hell would you invest in a typewriter company, right? I mean, you don't want to be investing in a typewriter company. And the worst part is, let's say you're investing in a typewriter company and the typewriter company doesn't have any typewriters and they don't even have uh, an office or a factory to make the typewriter. So they're just saying they have a typewriter company. So those are things you don't want to be invested in. Everybody knows nobody uses a typewriter. And if you don't know what a typewriter is, look it up.